In our latest video, we demonstrate how to identify manipulative tactics in relationships.
I'm Tanya, and I'm joined by my wonderful husband.
Lamont.
And we hope you're doing well as usual.
As usual.
So how was your week? We hope it was great. Our week was stupendous.
Busy.
Yeah, I'm copying out that dude.
What dude?
Trey was named Trey. The Trey King show or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, so we got a great episode today. So if you're new to the channel, we want you to go ahead and lock on in, hit that subscribe button. In this episode, well, let's talk about the following week, this week that passed, what we've been talking about. We've been talking about emotional behaviors, manipulations, financial, behavior in relationships and how to identify them. So that brings us to this episode. In this episode, we're going to be exploring the hidden tactics manipulators use to gain power over their partners. And we're not going to only just teach you that or talk about that. We're going to talk about how to recognize those warning signs as well. Emotional manipulation. As you can see, the title here, When Love is a Lie. You need to be able to recognize when love is a lie.
And a lot of people manipulate from the jump, but at certain times they switch. You should be able to switch into your true character, what your true intent is.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to really uncover that quickly after the initial spark.
Yeah. And another thing is that if you also new to the channel, Lamont and I are on a mission to create healthier marriages, starting from dating, okay? Because that's where it starts, okay? So this particular episode is to empower you to identify and escape these toxic dynamics.
Before it gets too late.
Right, and recognize and reclaim your self-worth, okay?
And let's get started.
Mm-hmm. So, what is emotional manipulation?
Emotional manipulation is a deliberate attempt to control someone else's emotions, behavior, and the result is the own person's personal gain.
Oh.
And it often happens subconsciously. You don't even be thinking about that you're doing this. You just manipulate people. You misuse feelings to get what you want.
Yeah.
It's a subconscious thing, the way people act. Sometimes they don't even realize they do realize they're doing it, but they can't control themselves because they're so used to manipulating people, getting what they want.
Yeah, and we want to be totally clear. It's not about disagreements or tough conversations. Yeah. Emotional manipulator, that's something that's calculated.
Yeah.
Okay, it shows up when one partner uses love as a tool to guilt, control or confuse the other person.
Yep. And it's often hard to spot because it's dressed up like love.
Yeah.
And they often use your love language to manipulate you.
Yeah. I just love you. I just love you. That's what they use as well.
Mm-hmm.
The I love you language.
Yeah.
So watch out for the I love you language. I love you is a strong set of words.
It's a strong set of words, but people frequently throw it out to misuse and manipulate.
Yeah.
Because they know naturally that's what every human being needs. They want to be loved. They want to be seen. And people can really, women and men, can exploit that vulnerability.
Yep. And manipulation now, it's common. And it's a common tactic that people use to control and influence others. And then gaslighting. I know you've probably heard of gaslighting. You've probably even been gaslit before. Yeah. But it's a form of manipulation where the victim's reality is denied or undermined. So what's really going on is often denied. Maybe, you might be going through something. And you telling your partner, making it seem like nothing's going on, denying.
Or,
the reality,
and the movements they making are not lining up, and then it ain't nothing like that. And then what happens is it actually comes to light what they gaslight about. A lot of times it do come to light.
Mm-hmm. Another common tactic of manipulation is emotional blackmail.
They use guilt, fear, or obligations to control someone's behavior.
Yeah, and coercion involves threats, intimidation, or force to gain compliance from another person. Deception uses lies, half-truths, and distorted information to manipulate and deceive. You've probably seen or experienced one or more of these common tactics of manipulation, but the key is consistency. One-time behavior might just be conflict, but if it's repeated, intentional and used to get their way, that's called manipulation. Whenever somebody's using things or even things against
emotion.
it could be things that you told them in secrecy.
Yeah.
If they using it against you to get you to do something, you know, or to get you to do something that they want you to do, that's manipulation.
Yeah, and it's a lot of manipulation going on right now with these podcasters and this red kill community out here. We got these are some boo God, but they're using manipulative tactics to make people feel like they're less than worthless, and they're using the other tactics to make people feel like they're more empowered than they actually are. All those are manipulative tactics that end up manipulating people for the benefit gain of somebody else. A lot of these podcasts, they do it for the benefit of what? Views. To make money.
To make money.
So they will manipulate people. They will tell people what they want to hear. Confirmation bias, what you want to hear to get your money, to get you to view their content.
And some of the other common tactics of manipulation is guilt tripping. So watch out for the guilt tripping. Your partner guilt tripping on you. That's using shame to control your actions. Okay, and also watch out for the silent treatment. Your partner might be withholding affection as a punishment.
Yeah.
Like I see it all the time. No, you ain't getting none.
Yeah.
You in the doghouse, or they just hold it back. For wives, if we're married, we gotta know that our body is not ours. It actually belongs to our husband. And same thing with the husband.
Only way you should deny yourself to one another is when you in prayer with God.
Yeah, and even then,
on agreed upon basis.
Yeah. Another way is playing a victim, shift blaming to avoid responsibility.
And this is a lot of this is women stuff.
Yeah.
You're
part of the same the victim.
Victim women play the victim, because if you come at a woman with a complaint, naturally she's gonna come at a complaint where you're not doing so much. And then she turned all of a sudden you complain, instead you complain about what you came about. She turned herself into a victim. Now you complain about trying to fix her stuff. Victim mentality.
Love bombing, and that's intense affection followed by withdrawal. So you get that intense affection. It's just like let it in for a kiss and then nope.
over intensifying their affection for you. And a lot of times they feed on what they see you need, or what you express you need. I'm looking for somebody this, I'm looking for somebody this. So they come in and feel that thing that you missing. Super duper. Doing all the extension, and all of a sudden once they get you hooked, once they get you in love, like I got it. Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they do that switcheroo.
Yeah. Now let's discuss recognizing the sign, because it's important that you are aware. Okay, ask yourself: is this love or is it control? Respect or fear? If you constantly shrinking to keep peace, you just might be dealing with manipulation. Do you constantly second guess yourself? Are you feeling often dismissed? Does your partner dismiss everything you say or do? Or
do it feel like you walking on eggshells? Is love used as leverage, or is it used as a reward? Because sometimes people can use they can love you only if you doing stuff for them. They can love you only if you being good to them, and you giving them you having sex with them.
Yeah.
And I saw a little video. A lot of people this new, like I said, this red pill theology, this red pill community out here, the propaganda they pushing. There's always a cause and effect, and one of the causes is these men think that they're the prize. So they talking to these women like, you should be glad that you a man like me. You got, especially single mom, but you should be glad that a man like me is even talking to you. You got kids. I mean, you overweight, you're fat. Look at you. I mean, these guys are using all kind of manipulation tactics, and they start off as love, but then they turn to a reward once they don't get what they want, which is now this generation we're living in a sex culture. Everybody want that, and they want it now. And they don't want to take no for an answer. Why? Because society make it like, and these red pills prove that these guys, that you should be entitled to be with, especially with a man with these men with no kids. They act like you should be glad that we even talking to you, because we the problem. And that love, or that interaction and messing with you is used as a reward. One of the biggest things that we control is how we react to any situation. And what you just said, anytime somebody tell you what makes them upset, then they can control it. That means they're aware. If you're aware, you control it. Yeah. But many times people choose not to control it. Why? because they want to manipulate the people around. Misery, as they say this term, misery loves company. The fact that he said this and all this makes me feel upset. So when you put that in your mind, naturally, anytime a situation like that, naturally you're gonna be upset about it. Because you said this makes me upset. And when you say things like that, then you set yourself up. And you're just going to keep showing up. And you can be manipulating other people, or you can be manipulating yourself because you don't want to change the habits. You can change by the word say. So we got to watch our words when we say this is just me, or we say this does this. Say no, this don't make me. I'm gonna try to, because the words we use will dictate how we approach the situation that we may come into down the road.
Right.
How you react to things is just your reaction to things. Somebody might have manipulated you to things, but the way you react is the way you react. You can change it. Can't nobody else change the way you react.
Right.
And pause right quick. And when we see people like, let's say, all this stuff that he's doing is just this early on in the relationship, as far as the nicotine withdrawal, you can only imagine how that man would be at old age. Because when you stop. Not just trying to stop, old men, old women, some people get grumpy. They be worse when they old, they be stubborn little music. That's when you end up putting your husband in the rehab center because you can't deal with him at home. And you start seeing bits and pictures like this part right here, piece, this, like this. You can only imagine how we be at home. Yeah. Yeah, we got this. You should be able to sit. He gonna talk to you and making words like that when a man or a woman say words like this, you should be able to accept me for who I am. That means they just gonna be who they is. And if you can't accept them, you don't love them. But they gonna show up the way I want to show up authentically, whether it's a good version or bad version. Sometimes we gotta realize every version ain't meant to keep showing up in us. Yeah. Now you can be yourself, but some things, if you got bad habits or bad way of showing up, them things need to be adjusted. Yeah. And the only way you can adjust it is with your words. Your words, you first adjust it with your words, how you speak about them, and then you step into that reality. Yeah. And that in itself is just a form of manipulation, saying that if you love me, you would, or you could accept me, if that manipulation. Yeah, because they already tell you how they gonna show, and then the worst, like I said, the worst part is that they using the word, they tell you that they gonna show up. Blackmail. Yeah. And that's the abuser tries to make you a victim and feel guilty, obligated to do something. In a situation like this, he's making her feel guilty, like he's going through withdrawal. You should help him out, no matter the circumstance. Yeah. Take it. If you really love me, you would take it. And a lot of men use this as far as like cheating and stuff. Like being like that's another red pill thing. Like take whatever comes with it. We men, so certain things come with the territory. No, certain things are the bad version that come with the territory. I don't have to take the good and the bad. Give me the good, you keep the bad.
Yun. Became most modern. What funny like fun. She's so fun.
Which is not.
You're never responsible for somebody else's emotional, how they handle a situation. That's their childhood bringing. That's how that breaks. That's not our responsibility to parent somebody else's emotions. And like I say, it's easy. The difference between somebody manipulating you, but we play a part too. We gotta accept what they're doing. So if you don't accept it, if you self-aware that certain things, you can just like, no, it's not. But that's why we got to be attentive on paying attention to things so that people don't use their emotions to manipulate us to feel like they're a victim because they can't control their emotions. And these sometimes this can end up being extorting things that the reality thing that it's not what it looks like, and things don't really look like what they said it is because they coming from their perspective of things. Thinking people gotta be obligated to parent their emotions. You parent your own emotions. Like I tell my wife all the time, I can't be your parent. If I come and parent your emotions, I'm not going to parent your child like you will parent your child. So parent your own emotions, because if somebody else come in and try to parent you up, control your emotions, then that's always going back.
Yeah, yeah. So she was definitely being gaslit. Okay. So, and there's other examples, like we were saying, emotional blackmail. If you really love me, you will do this, you will do that for me. That's blackmail, manipulation.
And he tried to distort the facts, and he tried to twist the facts and claim everyone agrees that
with his version of how the event should happen. It's not, yeah. I mean, he's not even giving her option, no say so, no nothing. He want her to take responsibility for something that, for his feelings and something that he trying to stop doing.
Yeah.
That was your problem.
Yeah, you got to work with your partner. If you want your partner to help you get through something, you got to make it easy for them to help you. Nobody wants to help nobody. Nobody wants to help somebody that's trying to manipulate them to do something. We want to help somebody with a genuine, that come open, genuine, and transparent to you with a problem or whatever situation they want to do.
Yeah. And what we're trying to aim at here is, with these examples, is to just help you understand the subtle but damaging nature of manipulating a tactic, because they're damaging. So it's definitely important for you to, recognize emotional manipulation that may be going on in your relationship. Like if you feeling some kind of way about your relationship, drained, if you're feeling any kind of negative way, take a second to think about what's really going on in your relationship and identify it. Because without awareness, you really can't. How can you handle the problem? How can you take care of the situation? How do you know that you need to leave? The first step is to become aware of what's going on, because emotional manipulation can have serious consequences on our mental health that often leads to increased anxiety. We go through depression and chronic self-doubt. We doubt ourselves.
And a lot of times this happens because people really don't stop actually analyze what's happening. Let's say you're in a relationship and you're in a relationship with somebody, you're looking to get close, or y'all doing things. Sometimes you got to stop and just analyze what's been happening. Actually step out the picture and look in the frame at your relationship. Is this love or is this control?
Yeah.
Is this manipulation or is this respect? You got to quickly identify these things, because the quicker you identify them, you can get yourself out of a situation, because the deeper you go, the harder it is to get out. So the deeper you go inside a relationship, when you seeing red flags, the harder it will be for you to get out. The quicker you identify red flags and bad patterns with somebody that you don't want to be a part of, the quicker you can exit out the situation.
Yeah, I would also say listen to your close family and friends, and they be like, man, you changed.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, or something, because oftentimes ourselves to identify that something is even going on, because again, we're being emotionally manipulated. So this is a tactic. It's a whole tactic. So if your family, your friends, close friends tell you that you changed, ask you if something going on at home or anything, how to try to recognize that you changed, and don't be so offensive if somebody asks you that.
Or if somebody say a person's not good for you.
Yeah.
If somebody say something, you always gotta look at it. No, don't, man, you always in my business. No, actually look at the situation. When somebody say that, they probably saying something that you blind to see. So sometimes they might be jealous, but sometimes if the person close to you, they seeing something that you've been so manipulated, you're blind to see that. So when somebody say something about a person, they say, "Oh, I don't think he's right for you." Ask them why.
Yeah.
And then when they say something, you actually take some time to ponder and think about what they said. A lot of people don't put one and two together. They can get information, but they never transform the information inside their head to actually think about it. They just go with it. And you don't want to be a person that just go with the flow, because you find yourself just going with the flow. And once you get caught up in the wind, in the waves of relationships, bad relationship, it's like you can't get out of it. You keep getting in bad relationships. Once you start, it's like you keep getting bad relationships. Why? Because in with the flow, and you never stop and analyze what's going on.
Yeah. So definitely analyze what's going on, become aware of what's going on in your relationship. Because the consequences of emotional manipulation can also erode trust in ourselves and in others, causing profound loss of faith in our other relationships, like with our family and friends.
Or for future relationships with your partner going on. A lot of people bear the burden of your previous relationship because we don't close the door. We never examine what went wrong, where we were wrong and where they were wrong. We always look at somebody else as their fault. But anytime the demise of a relationship, both people play a part. That's why it's good to examine where you went wrong at. Maybe you was manipulated. Maybe your eyes wasn't open. Always examine where you went wrong at.
Yeah, that's good. Emotional manipulation also makes love feel conditional. It's a conditional thing. Like it's not just. It's almost like tit for tat in love. Like
I gotta do something. But them to get a lot of women feel like they ain't gotta have sex with a person. That's one of the ways that you show up for a woman. They show up. They feel the only value they provide for a man is having sex with a man. You gotta realize once you have sex with a man, if his goal is to just have sex with you, then he done accomplished that. And now all these tactics start coming into play. Yeah. Once the person get what they want from you, or if they want to keep getting from you, they're gonna keep manipulating. But actually, once the person get what they want from you, then that true real McCoy shows up.
Yeah, and be careful too, because you can be going on dates and he whining and dining you, but all of this is emotional manipulation. Because he whining and dining you because he wants something in return. So be careful, don't fall into like, oh, I'm going because he's taking me to the finest restaurants, he buying me all this stuff. Next thing you know, he gonna be asking for something. Okay, because that's a sign. That can be emotional manipulation.
And a lot of men use money as they go. You gotta realize a lot of people, most people, that's the reason why if you a single man, the reason why you make money is to get. So if you realize a man, I see these boys all the time, they 60, 50 years old and they still single. It's because they manipulate women. Ain't no way a man single when he ain't found no one. Like they said, why you still single at 60? Why you still single at 50? Why you got all the baby daddies? Why a man or a woman, especially a man, if he's single that long, is because a man don't want to be in a relationship. And more often than not, he's somebody who's been manipulating women. So he may come in like, oh, he's making 6 figures. He's a single girl. He's 45 years old. He's going to come in using it. And people use what they value less. You might value. Let's say if a man got money, I might come in, I'm flatter you with all these gifts and stuff because I don't value money. I know some people, it's easy for me to make money, but I don't value it, so I'll flatter you with that. You don't make that much money. So my little shower you with money, you looking like, oh, he's all this and that. And all of a sudden, because he doesn't value money, he's showering you with stuff that he don't value. He got you manipulated thinking this is the guy, he's giving me all this, he's doing all this, and all of a sudden you in love. And he done weaponized that love as manipulation, and that money as manipulation. Now you manipulated and doing what he wants you to do, so he can keep sharing you with the gifts that you want.
Yeah, you think you in love. You don't even really know him yet.
And it's important to be aware of these things and these emotional manipulation tactics because they have consequences.
Mm-hmm. And it's also just as important to take the steps to protect our emotional well-being. When I think about it, God designed love to be safe and not scary. When love becomes a weapon instead of a refuge, you lose the very foundation of intimacy. Yeah. The intimacy is going out the window when it ain't safe, when it's a weapon. Yeah. So again, I sound like I'm okay. And then again, when I think about it, the emotional manipulation that people use for sex, for intimacy, it's just not women. If we can keep our legs closed, we will see a whole turnaround and how these relationships go. The relationships will be so much better. I know it sounds crazy, it would. But involving sexual intimacy into the relationship, especially when you ain't married, I mean that's why it's God's design. Because it causes chaos.
Yeah, especially for the women, because the women get emotionally attached. A lot of women, once you have sex, they automatically think you're in a relationship. If the sex is decent, a woman automatically think, oh, this about to be my boyfriend. A man, like, all I wanted was the sex. Yeah. And he may play on that role, keep giving sex and giving you what you want. If you a woman who falls for sex and somebody has sex with you, and all of a sudden you think you're in a relationship, then that man's gonna either manipulate you for sex because and he gonna stay around as long as you give him sex until you find out that more likely if he manipulates you for sex, he probably manipulates somebody else for sex till you find out that shit.
Yeah. So we definitely need to guard our
God say above all else, your heart, because out of that flows the abundance of life.
Yeah. So there's three main points, and that's rebuilding self-trust, developing awareness, like we've been saying, and embracing true love. Recovery is possible, and everybody deserves relationships that's built on authenticity and that mutual respect. Okay. Always be open-minded and receptive to becoming aware of a situation and the strategies that we discussed before you deal, with emotional manipulation. Okay, so always be open-minded, like we said. Listen to people, listen to your family, listen to your friends, or take note. If something's off, take a moment.
Always examine interactions with people, especially if you're getting to know somebody.
Yeah.
A partner, you looking for a romantic partner. Always examine your interactions with them. Test the spirit. God say test the spirit. So always test the spirit by the spirit to see if it's real.
Yeah, and this just don't happen in dating. This happen in marriages too.
Yeah.
You can be emotionally manipulated in a marriage.
Yeah, and you still married to the person now to this day, and y'all they really don't love you. Some people get in a relationship and they just go with emotion, and they ride their wave all out to the wheels fall off until they be discovered.
So let's talk a little bit about God's design for love. God's design for love is patient, love is kind. It does not dishonor others. It's not self-seeking.
Self-seeking.
That's 1 Corinthians 13, 4-5.
As we discussed before, emotional manipulation is always used for self-gain. It's always used for self-gain. These are selfish people, manipulating people, always looking to get something over on people. Yeah. Get something out of people, no matter the cost.
Yeah.
And love does not do that. Love is giving. As you say, God, you must first humble. If a person's coming in, this is one thing that flattering you, but you don't want to be. A person can't flatter. If I'm a man that make money, I can't flatter you with money. That's going to be manipulation. They will flatter. Person with money, they will flatter you with time. They will show you time because that's showing that I love you. Money is not. I'm not leading. I'm leading with love. But a person will always lead with what they want from you. So a giver is going to come in and give. A taker is going to come in. Taking. And you can quickly, like we did the video last time, we said givers and takers. You got to quickly identify a giver and a taker. Because a taker, they're going to be always manipulating you. A giver, you're going to easily see this giver. They're going to be expressed with love and compassion, and they're not going to lead with money.
And we're going to keep it in the word, because love, when it reflects God, it uplifts. It's going to protect and it's going to cover. If that's not what's happening in your relationship or your marriage, then it's not love, it's control. Okay, we all deserve love that feels safe and not strategic. Don't settle for affection wrapped in manipulation.
Yeah.
All right. So if you got anything, you got something else, Dave? If you got anything out of this video, first we want to thank you for watching, but be sure to share, like, and subscribe. And as always, let's build together. Again, if this touched you, is not by accident. Okay, this is your formal invitation to break free from confusion and step into clarity, healing, and real love. Don't just survive in your relationship, thrive in truth, and they have vision.
And together they build the life that they love.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know.
That's why I don't end it.
Make sure that, like I said, we just released the course. So, guys, if you're somebody and you're in a healthy relationship, or you're in a relationship and you want your relationship to be healthy, help you set the foundation of a new perspective so you can take your relationship to the healthy state where it needs to be. And you can not be in a manipulative relationship that's headed nowhere. So we released this foundational mini course, which consists of 10 free videos that you guys can access for. If you're watching this video, that you can access for. So visit us at loverscoaching.com and you get 10 free video mini lessons that we just released.
And again, that's loverscoaching.com /love.
And help you get a new perspective on relationships so you can get the foundation right. So you can build a healthy relationship, because as you know, If the foundation ain't right, you can only go so high. The deeper you build the foundation, the higher you can go. So I don't know where you started up your relationship at. Check out the 10 free video mini lessons. You get it free, quick lessons to help you get a new perspective on a healthy relationship, to help you get on the road to a healthy relationship. So loveiscoaching.com/love.
Lovercoaching.com/love.
But you only get, so you got 10 days, 7 days to finish the 10 videos. If you don't finish the 10 videos, you lose access and you can't get back. So get in there, you get it free. Complete the videos, you keep them. If you don't, you lose them. See?
They had vision, and together they built the life that they love. Go build. See you on the next one.